And welcome back, everyone, to Death Battle Prediction. That's right, the Death Battle's back, and we're predicting them. The Kratos versus Asura episode will be up a little later. I just have to finish out the videos I got to do today. And I've done a video of versus long ago when the channel was still in its youth for Spawn versus Ghostrider. And this is really going to come down to one big question. Are they, in essence, going to max out Spawn to pure, to his divine Spawn form, his strongest form he ever had, where he basically became God, more or less? Because if that is the case, I'm going to have to lean in the favor of Spawn. This is due to the fact that being a divine being means he would have access to holy weaponry, holy magic, whatever, and he would literally be the strongest being in creation at that point. However, if they're not going to be maxing out divine spawn to divine spawn, this I feel is going to lean way more in Ghostrider's favor, because in essence it's the same problem technically that Lobo had with Spawn, or with Ghostrider. Spawn being a hell spawn is not a being of holy magic. As far as I know, Spawn can't even utilize holy magic, as far as I know. I could be wrong on that. But the point is, he's not someone who has a direct way of really doing any damage to Ghostrider, at least in the general sense. He can't, say, use a magic attack that's going to really hurt Ghostrider in a way that he feels it, that he's affected by it. Now, that being said, he's extremely powerful, but if we're going by what we know of Ghostrider, they're going to go access Zarathos again, who we know was able to be on par with Mephisto, who was able to fight on par with Galactus for a while. So that means that's the level of power when Ghostrider is going all out that we're kind of dealing with. Which means that might even surpass Divine Spawn to a certain degree in terms of level, because I don't recall Divine Spawn being multiversal. He could be. I'm not saying he isn't. I don't remember that. I'll let other people answer that in the comments below. But despite being a Hellspawn, the question needs to be brought up. Does Spawn have a soul? I believe Spawn does have a soul. By the way, this thumbnail is made by NKST Joa, I believe it is. But does Spawn still have a soul? Does he have an asshole? No, but does he have a soul? Does Spawn still contains an unknown quality of lost souls? Who shares who share his Hellspawn below the collective known as Legion? Oh, that's not good. Because, and you know Death Battle referenced it, Legion, who had many souls in there, he was able to throw all of that back at Spawn with a penance stare. Now, the one thing about Spawn that is different than, say, someone like Lobo is the fact that a Ghostrider's penance stare can't work on an individual, A, who doesn't feel guilt for what they did, B, doesn't have a soul, B, kind of gets off, Thanos, I was about to say gets off on pain, but he didn't feel guilty, or C, is wearing a mask. Because, if I remember correctly, why didn't the penance stare work on Venom? They have Spider-Man here. That I actually think is probably going to work better for it. I wonder why the penance stare didn't work on Spider-Man, because the penance stare takes all the sins a person commits against others and bids them upon their sinner all at once. Spider-Man is not willingly to harm an innocent. Okay, that doesn't mean on Venom, because I remember he used it on Venom one time and it did not work. It only works for someone who has sinned and regrets it, as Angel could never sin because it would is Venom used in the penance stare? There we go. When used on both the original Venom, Agent Venom, and Carnage, penance stare backfired due to their symbiotes. Centurious are unaffected by penance stare because he had a soul to his soul to soul them. Okay, so the symbiotes got in the way. Well, Lilith of I believe it's the 7th house, which is the suit Spawn wears. It's a symbiote, which means the penance stare wouldn't work on Spawn. Years ago, I said it did work on Spawn. I have to take that bet because Lilith acts as a symbiote. Now, does it what function the same way as a Clintar symbiote does? No, it does not. But is it still a symbiote? Absolutely it is. Does it still work for probably negating the penance there? Absolutely it probably does. Even if he took the mask off, Lilith is still attached to him. So the penance there, because otherwise the penance there would take Spawn out immediately. He's got over 6,000 souls to burn in there. But that being said, Ghostrider can still eat souls. He still has Hellfire he can use to eviscerate and destroy Spawn. Spawn also can use Hellfire as well. This is actually going to be a much tougher match than I initially thought. But on the raw power side, again, unless we're dealing with Divine Spawn, even then that's debatable. Zarathos, when we eventually get to that in the fight, does completely outrank Spawn in terms of power. Oh, this actually is gotten tough. So it's what we may end up see happening is that the souls get burned away from the sheer power of Zarathos, leaving only Simmons, and then the penance there happens. It's a good, because the Hellfire cannot just burn your body; it burns your soul, and he's got all those souls in him. So it's a good question, honestly. I would probably say, yeah, this will probably go to Ghostrider, but it's nowhere near as clean cut as I thought years ago. No, surprisingly, Spawn has enough natural defenses against Ghostrider's, kill moves that it could give him a win. And Spawn actually has more versatility than Ghostrider too. He's got more magical capabilities, more just experience, at least as Al Simmons as a combatant. Zarathos definitely may balance that out a bit, but yeah, I'll go Ghostrider, but this is one where I'm nowhere near as confident as I once was. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I got Ghostrider. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.